As Jeff said, my name is Craig Haney. I am the Director of Corporate Innovation at Communitech, and I do help big companies act a little bit like small companies. This is my first of two presentations in the insurance industry this week alone, which says that there's a lot of interest in this idea of startups and technology and innovation in this space. The other part that I'll say is Jeff had a great sort of app for the world. I'm really interested in the appless world. I'm really sick of apps. Apps really destroy my phone. I'd rather use it for better things. So I'm really interested in the world without apps. And I think we're going to hear a little bit about that today. In fact, since I'm speaking about it, you're definitely going to hear about it in a couple minutes. Moore's Law states that every 18 months, technology doubles in capacity and is cut in half in cost. And what does that mean is that the technology that the startups are using and the newer companies are using is simply a lot better and a lot cheaper than the systems you've put in place 5 or 10 years ago. So in that scenario, you're dealing, the startups and the other bigger or younger companies in the world are dealing with weapons that you just don't have. And they're more agile, they're more nimble. And we'll give you an example here. In 1956, this was an actual General Motors ad. Autonomous vehicles. And the dream was to play Scrabble in the car with your family. Now, so the concept here, this is a 60-year-old ad. And we talked a little bit about Tesla and the autonomous vehicles and the autonomous world. Well, 60 years later, we've finally gotten to a point that we actually have driver-assisted or autonomous vehicles. And I'll say that I think fully autonomous vehicles are a long way off. But driver-assisted vehicles are here today, and that is changing the world. The only difference is that no one knows how to play Scrabble anymore. The cost of this technology has gone down so much, and the ability and capacity of this technology and sensors and sonars and other things have increased so much that they're cheap enough to put thousands in a single car that costs about $100,000. Here's another example. Same sort of timeline, 1966, this is Spock. By the way, any good technology presentation has to have Star Trek and Star Wars in it to be good. And I'm pandering to you guys for good evaluation, so they're both going to be in here today. This is Spock, and he's holding something called a tricorder. For those that don't know what a tricorder is, it measures the environment within around that our friends in Star Trek were in the environment, whatever planet they landed on. But could also work in the healthcare space. They could actually scan the bodies, and the doctor would know, hey, how healthy or how sick are you? Well, let's look at Cloud DX out of Oakville, Ontario. They've invented the tricorder. So imagine what this does on the healthcare side when you could democratize all of your health information. And I'm a relatively healthy guy. I could go to my 100,000 healthiest friends across Canada that have access to this type of information, and I could go crowdsource my insurance in the healthcare side and say, I'm only going to insure, I only want a package for the 100,000 healthiest people in Canada, and I'm going to take those out of the pool for everyone else in the insurance space on the healthcare side, and I'm only going to deal with the healthiest ones, and then the rest of the actuary tables only deal with the unhealthy ones.